Welcome back. Well, just watch out for a couple of stocks such as Sun Pharma, which is your top gain on the Nifty at this point in time, comes out with numbers tomorrow. So there's a lot of optimism on that one, up 3.5% for Sun. But let's talk commodities now. Manisha Gupta, commodities editor, is here with us to tell us what she's tracking today. Manisha.
Ekta, thank you so much for that. Well, we have been looking at various commodities, but I want to focus on the horticulture numbers right now. And as per the government's third advanced estimates, we are looking at a record horticulture crop. So whether it's fruits or vegetables, we are looking at very strong numbers there. Tarun Arora is director at IG Group of Companies, and he joins us on the show now. Tarun, hi, good to have you. Record numbers, when we look at that, how is the current year looking like though? And when you look at the import of fruits, that also has continued to increase on an year-on-year basis. How is the overall business looking like?
Yeah, the last year's aftermath in terms of the total numbers were not looking positive, but now looking at things, it's looking very positive. But again, this is where the challenges starts happening also on the supply chain when the supply chains are tested. When I've been talking on increase in the infrastructure spend in terms of supply chain, and now is the time that we will probably get to know that how that will impact. And already we see that in the fruit prices too, wherein the overall energy demand is increasing, the fuel prices are increasing, but on the other hand, fruit pricing are actually decreasing because of the glut that happens in the market with the oversupply situation. And now, it's important that we carry it out with the right post-harvest management and the right infrastructural spend on this, so that we are able to carry out the production which is coming into play.
So, Tarun, that perhaps is good news for consumers then, because we've seen prices of almost all commodities go up. If you're saying that the fruit prices actually have come down because of oversupply, is that a phase? Is that a small window that we've seen though?
Yes, it's a window. Again, when I look at now, most important commodity when we talk about fruits, you talk about bananas, you talk about apples. We're just getting out of the apple season, but apples have been under pressure and significant pressure because of oversupply. And we've seen that not having enough cold chain has really given a consumer over the last 2 months apple prices being very, very competitive and much lower than last year when you look at the B2B business, and not necessarily it'll have the same impact on the consumer level, because but still at the consumer level too, you'd probably see a 10 to 15% drop continuing probably this month, and then again probably coming back to normalization. Now it just sort of applies to each and every crop in the same sector. The rains have hit hard, so which will mean that there could be, for example, the melon sector will be hurt because the sowing has not gone in. The banana sector will be hurt because again the sowing has not gone in, harvest has been delayed. The grape sector is going to be hurt in the coming quarter. So again, among fruits also you will see, including vegetables too, the sowing has not gone in over the last, especially due to the unseasonal rains that have happened and the climate change that is affecting the total sowing of the whole product.
Tarun, also, how would you look at the food processing industry? Because that accounts for 32% of total food. Do you think a lot of shift has happened from fruits and vegetables to food processing, or that is something that still is very desired?
It is desired, I would say. I mean, especially when you look at fruits, the supply chain are not robust enough, and the prices even from the food processing window, since the consumption is most still export driven, and the domestic food processing window, other than just the beverages, not accounting significantly, and which is more consolidated as a market. I would say that there's still a lot of work which must be done on food processing when it comes to fruits and vegetables going into that market. So and also from the prices. I mean, the prices that we're currently getting from the food processing is not as good. So it has to then rely upon our farming practices in a very different way, because then you're not growing for table fruit but for food processing, which will incur less input costs. So accordingly, we need to really drive our strategies based on that. But that's where I feel food processing needs to still take up more accountability in terms of raising the prices for farmers to be competitive, to be able to drive that market well.
Tarun, also, we've seen the imports of perishable goods into India also increase quite strongly. Prices, as you said, have been quite normal there. The government has made a lot of measures, pushed into a lot of subsidies when you look at other food items. Have you seen that happen with horticulture as a sector?
I would say it is a no change strategy from the government in our sector at the moment. We've not seen subsidies to go down what were there. Introduction of the new subsidies continue to come, but not significantly. There have been a couple that have been launched, especially on the post-harvest management side, and a couple on the pre-harvest side too. However, still, I don't see a significant push there at the moment when it comes to fresh produce as a sector.
Going forward, what are your expectations then? Because we know when you look at FMCG and various other consumer goods, we're looking at Diwali sales being quite on the higher side. Does that seem like a trend also in fruits, in perishables?
Absolutely, it does. It does have a positive effect. I mean, the consumer are getting into the fashion of giving more gifting when it comes to fresh produce, which is great trend to see. And India, especially coming, from being a very high, mithai consumer or dry fruit consumer during the Diwali, coming on to the trend of gifting fruits is a great trend, and that's something really helps pushing the demand during that time. So we are off a good Diwali season, and now it's about it's about pushing the demand through regular channels of consumption in the consumer space.
Well, absolutely, Tarun. I'm sure with Diwali gifting, and now especially with winters coming in, this is a time that people do actually tend to take in a lot of fresh produce. But just to get a sense of numbers, I mean, when it comes to Diwali gifting for fruits and buying, how has the trend been over year and year, and what is the kind of consumption trends within India that you are seeing year and year, and says also in sense of growth?
So from the industry, since we're very unorganized as an industry, it's tough to get the overall holistic numbers on the Diwali gifting. But let's talk about our own ecosystems. Among IG groups, we've seen a 50% increase in total overall sale in that channel of Diwali gifting, which is very promising. So we are always pushing that channel quite a bit. This year we launched a new range of just the fruits on Diwali, which was great, and it ran really well. So we are very happy, and it seems to be very promising. So each year it has become a sector that has taken, our channel that has taken our attention significantly, and I think it will continue to grow.
Okay, fruits, mithai, dry fruits. I'm sure we all contributed this time around to that. Tarun and Manisha, thank you so much for taking us through that discussion. And on that note, we'll do one thing.